Well, welcome to the first episode on the podcast, Still Waters. I'm your speaker, Andre Gashard. Well, I think first things first, we gotta talk about why Still Waters. Why, who, and I think those two W's pretty much encapsulate. I'm not reading from a script or anything. I'm just kind of going off of what's on my head here. Probably should, but I figured first episode, how bad could you possibly mess it up? We're gonna find out. But anywho, the purpose why it's called this is because I do it on Sundays. Figure after a whole 6 days of living, you can expound upon things you learn, lessons you learn, etc. A little bit of me and my background. Man, well, I want to really. Let's build up the bricks so we can walk this out. This our understanding. But man, I wanted to be a teacher, right? But as you all probably know, the meme, teachers, no offense, but I was like, man, the pay is non-existent, and if that wasn't enough, you usually gotta listen to a script. You can't really. I love teaching, but I'm also type 1 diabetic, so you kind of get an understanding of my background here. So I was like, my goodness, I kind of need like health insurance. Insulin is no joke. Eventually, I found a job that pays for it completely, but and also now I'm doing this on the side. But that's one thing. I wanted to be a teacher, but I didn't like the pay. I didn't like that lifestyle. So that's one of my things. I love teaching. I love educating. Another reason for doing this podcast is because I've done in my own traditional business. Now I'm transitioning to this because I realized, man, and that again in one of those businesses. I know I'm being vague, but for the sake of time, I don't want this to be longer, like my life story. Just a 5 or 10 minute video about the origin of all this and the why. I did not want. I didn't like that business model because though I was talking to people, was networking, all that stuff. Again, you're very limited to what you can and cannot say, and I just, I could be loquacious at times, as my friends would probably vouch for. I talk a lot, maybe ramble, get on a soapbox, and hey, here we are. But I think the biggest thing why I'm doing this is because I think we need more peace in our world. I think we need to talk on things that are important. Now, what the hell I believe is important, that's subject to be considered. But we have to. You ever have those conversations with your friends, and you're like, "Man, that was really good. I wish I knew that sooner." Or, "Man, I wish we put that in a book." You ever had those kind of things, concepts? For me, it was. I'm 27 years old. And the time of this video, born at 1996, December 18th. So, and it is 1-1 2024. So January 1st is New Year's, and I made a New Year resolution to do a podcast every Sunday. So you'll get 4 videos a month. I'll probably do a book review, and we'll go on from there. I have my own website, but that's self-grandizing aside. Can't say that's unprofessional. I'm thinking here. Woo! I'll do Toastmasters soon, right? Get better at this. But main reason. When you got out of high school, you ever thought to yourself like, man, I mean, I lived for, you get out of high school when you're like 18, but years down the line, I say almost a decade from now, honestly, it's like there's the things you learn, the things you wish you knew. This is stuff I'm doing where I'm like, this is stuff we need to talk about. Maybe like loss, or maybe, that's another thing. I was thinking about, I wanted to get involved with churches, right? Be a pastor. Once again, another issue about being a pastor. They do heal, they help out people and whatnot. I noticed that there's a prejudice to the church, right? When you hear the word pastor, you kind of automatically put them in a box and etc. So, once again. So I like to do this podcast as a way to reach people and expound upon truth. Not like a religious rant truth. I mean like things that if you incorporate in your life or don't incorporate it, your life will probably get worse. It's just things I wish I knew. So this is my way of giving back, or my way of, I guess, giving people an out. That's kind of my philosophy. My philosophy is giving people, they have to uphold their own mantle of responsibility. Now, if you don't know better, you can't do better. But if you know better, you don't do better. That's on you. And that's kind of what helps me sleep at night, right? That there's someone out there just doing something. I guess it just helps me. All right. Well, Audacity's already telling I'm 6 minutes in. But other than that, that's about it. That's the first episode of Still Waters. Unless I come up with something last minute. I'm sure I'll put links and all those other stuff as this thing evolves over time. But that's the origin story of Still Waters. I guess the last bit about me would be I am Blasian. Black and Asian. Racial swag aside, if you're offended, hopefully I gave you some understanding what kind of person I am. Philosophical. I love thinking and understanding the why of things. I have a strong sense of justice, as I've been told by freaking therapists. Because I like to ask questions. I like to understand things. The reality of it is, how many people have these conversations, these deep intellectual conversations about life and all this other stuff? Like, where are you gonna have that at? At the water fountain at work? Is that what's gonna happen? Oh, or at the bars? You sure about that? With those drunk promises and people just trying to escape from reality rather than face it? Still Waters is designed for you to face reality, how to adapt, how to understand the why of things, not just what happens, but why it happens, or the reasoning behind things. Because if you're so focused on the what, you don't understand why, you're just going to be frustrated forever. This is designed for people or an audience that I guess is hungry for a better understanding. And you got to have a strong sense of justice, because obviously, if you're a narcissist, and that's fine, God bless you. But if you are that, you probably have an attitude of, well, I'm right and the world's wrong. And I'm sure many of you have lost many relationships, myself included, with a mindset like that. I think we all go through seasons of self-grandizing. But in any event, I would say the main objective of Still Waters, is to still your mind, give you some peace. And if not peace, prepare you to deal with the conflicts and vicissitudes of the world. There is no person, everyone has a degree of credibility, and truth is truth. You don't need to be a water biologist to know that water is water, right? That's the truth. You don't need to be a certain age to know that you need to drink it. You just know it. You need it, right? There's just truth. So I'm not gonna tell you that I have a doctor's degree in oration, so I know what the hell I'm doing. No, I probably don't know, but I'll give you my perspective and stories to give it some integrity, some depth. Alrighty. Look at that. Loquacious. You tell them you're going to end at 6 and now you're 9. Alright. But other than that, we're good. You guys have a blessed day, and deuces. Thanks for listening to Still Waters. Bye.